Ladies and gentlemen, he has done it one more time. Ivan Demidov, everybody, has gone out there in the KHL and has started to put things together, courtesy of Roman Rottenberg and SKA St. Petersburg. Earlier this morning, Demidov and the St. Petersburg crew played off against Vityaz Moscow region in a 5-2 win where Demidov scored himself a goal and an assist. The best part is, he did this in 14 minutes of ice time, which, if you added on to some of the other games in which he has played recently, Demidov, ever since being given 15-plus minutes time on ice, is, he's at a really good number. He's at 2, 5, 7, 9, 10 points in his last 5 games played. And he has all of a sudden been one of the hottest players on SKA St. Petersburg. This, of course, is supplemented by the actual points themselves. Let's go over into the archives and see what kind of points Demidov is putting up on the board. Because if you just go through Twitter, you look at some of the clips, because they're posted everywhere. The KHL social media is pretty constant with these things. But Ivan Demidov scored his first goal of the game, or his only goal of the game, by coming into the zone, picking the puck up from the pass, cutting into the middle, shooting it, and getting it by that goaltender. You can see the release. You can see the flex on his stick. You can see the torque with his waist there. Ivan Demidov gets all of that shot at the hash marks and makes it 2-1. SKA with the 1. Although, I will say, if you look at the points and everything, that wasn't actually Demidov's goal. It looked like it was, we all thought it was, but upon further video review, turns out the puck actually hit the SKA guy in front before going into the goal, so Demidov got the assist here. This one goal was scored by Zakhar Bardakov, assisted by Demidov. So Demidov with the assist, not the goal. However, later on in the game, making it 4-2, Demidov then scored his own goal on that same game, and it was a really nice play at the blue line. Demidov is able to take control of it. He waltzes around the Vityaz Moscow player. Look at that little touch to the backhand there. Feeds it down to the goal line, walks right in front, backdoor pass back to Demidov, and it is in the back of the net. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the actual goal that he had scored. So Demidov with the goal and an assist today, compiled with the other points he has had. Things are looking pretty great because we're seeing stats like this. Ethan tweeted this out. Ivan Demidov in games with under 11 minutes time on ice this season, he's got 4 points in 19. In games with over 11 minutes, though, he's got 27 points in 21 games played. It all makes sense. Initially, the team and the coach played the bad cop with a long-term thinking as they were trying to get him to sign with SKA, even if not playing him was at the detriment of the team's win-loss record in the near term. Now that he's made it clear that he doesn't want to stay at SKA and is coming over to Montreal, SKA figures they might as well ride him to the maximum in order to bolster their results this year. The countdown is on. And I think, for me personally, this is like the first time I can fully remember seeing a KHL team willingly embrace a young guy who was going to leave. Like, every single time we see these stories, it's, Vasily Podkolzin is being tossed down in the middle and the bottom of the lineup because SKA knows that he wants to leave. Matvey Mishkov got sent over to a different team entirely because SKA knew he wanted to leave. They didn't even give him the right to leave until later on, which is why it was an entire controversy as to where he'd be drafted in 2023. Even with a bunch of the other Russian dudes, the Kusnedinovs and the Kravtsovs and others, there have been so many names in and out of the top KHL teams throughout the years that did not get any reasonable treatment, mostly due to their circumstances. Like the guys who stay in Russia and who don't really have plans to go to the National Hockey League soon, the Kaprizovs, the Gusevs, the Panarins, the Kuzmenkos, these guys grow and they become awesome KHL players. It takes them a while usually, but they get there. And for Ivan Demidov, he is only 18 years old. 19 now. But still, he's gone out there with 10 points in his last 5 games. His point production, even if you include the bad games where he was getting fewer minutes of ice time, even if you take a look at those games and you combine them into the sample, his overall production is already fantastic for a guy who's only 18, 19 years old. Now you think about it like, oh, they're actually using him, they're giving him chances, they're embracing the fact that he is talented, and they're saying, okay, screw it, like, we know you're going to leave, there's no reason to try to convince you, we're not going to punish you in order to make you want to stay, to get more ice time, we're just going to give you more ice time, because it helps us, it helps you. We had already spoken to your GM in Montreal, Kent Hughes, Vinny LeCavalier, they came over here, we had talked to them, so we understand that it's probably your destiny to go to Montreal. So, let's just try to use you while we can. And I feel like that's a lot more of an appropriate and even a respectable way to go about it, because, like, what are you going to do? You're going to scare Vasily Podkolzin into staying with you longer because you're not going to give him any ice time? You're going to threaten Matvei Mishkov into staying with you longer because you're sending him away to Sochi instead of playing in SKA St. Petersburg? What are you going to do here? Like, you know you're not going to win. These guys are going to leave. So just use them. And even on Russian social media, it's been very heavily documented that many SKA fans this year have been disappointed with the way Roman Rottenberg, for the most part, has run this hockey team. And now, because the team's starting to win, and because Demidov's getting more ice time, everybody's starting to open back up and saying, okay, maybe this guy isn't so out to lunch after all. Maybe there is reason to believe in the vision here for SKA in 2024-2025, because SKA, spoiler alert, these guys are always one of the best teams in the entire league. So to see them falter and not have the best start and have these losing skids throughout the year and have Demidov scratched and benched, etc., it was so frustrating. For many KHL fans to acknowledge the system that was being played and the lack of results despite the talent on the ice. Now Demidov, as a first-line caliber winger, is actually being given meaningful minutes and he's making advantages for his team because of it. 10 points in his last 5 games. If Ivan Demidov gets 2 points a night for the rest of the season, he's not going to do that. I don't think, at least. But if he does do that, then he will be putting himself in territory that we haven't seen in any NHL, KHL prospect at 18, 19 years old in years. Like, even Alex Ovechkin didn't score as much like this in his draft plus 1 year, and you gotta remember, he played his draft plus 1 year in the Russian league because of the NHL lockout. And I'm being dead ass with that. Look at this. So Alex Ovechkin, first overall in 04, his 04-05 season saw him put up 26 points in 37 games. Demidov has 31 points in 40 games. So, much better point production there. And more goals too. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous since Ovi wasn't really like a goal-scoring monster in Russia. I mean, he was extremely talented, but the Russian league was different back then, so maybe it's not really the best comparison, but still. The guy had a 100-point season, a 50-goal NHL season immediately after this, so for Demidov, the sky is the limit, really. So I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about Demidov and the way everything has gone down with him in the KHL and what he's been doing recently with SKA. His overall point production, the numbers, everything's been going right here, and I want you to let me know what you think in the comments section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.